Donald Trump is polling horribly with African Americans, but yesterday on a Wisconsin visit, he tried to turn the tables on Hillary Clinton.
We reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, which panders to and talks down to communities of color and sees them only as votes. That's all they care about.
All right, is Hillary Clinton using the black community for votes? Is Trump trying to? Let's discuss it with the party panel. Harris Faulkner, Dave Smith, and Tom Shillue. Everyone is back. So let's talk about this a little bit, because I think he has an excellent case here. And I think that's what she does specifically and the Democratic Party does in general. And it is the basis of identity politics. Is there any way he can move the needle here, or is it too far gone?
Look, everybody's going to play it, right? The identity politics.
Yeah.
And so if he gets in there and he gets in with the right message that has what I call stickiness, yeah, it could work. It could work particularly among those blacks who really understand that the wedge issues are for yesterday. And the race, now we've had a black police officer kill a black suspect, and that's the latest one in all of this. So the narrative is changing anyway. What are you going to hashtag that with? Yeah. So if that's true, then does the message have stickiness? And I don't know if you guys remember, there was a senator in Louisiana, older guy, Gilroy. And he was in state senate. A couple of years ago, he ran an ad about why the Democrats have let blacks down. The audience that Donald Trump started with was an organic audience in West Bend, Wisconsin, predominantly white. If he grows it out from them, that was a good first step for his message. If he grows from that and can get before a group of like NAACP, whatever group he decides to court, and he sees if that message resonates, if it gains traction, I think he's on to something, because what he's doing is he's talking to people of color through a different color, green.
Interesting. No, but if he can make, and you know, people I've talked to who aren't really interested in politics have said, you know, here's a guy, and we thought that he was just going to be this great businessman and tackle the economy, and I think sometimes he gets distracted from that, but that's true. If you can make that ultimate message that, you know, your life will be more prosperous, not because of government, but because I'll do whatever it takes to get the economy going again.
I think conservatives have really trying to make this point over the last few years, that a lot of these areas have been destroyed by Democratic policies, and there's a lot of truth to it. Whether it's minimum wage laws, the education system, over-regulation, these things have destroyed a lot of these communities. However, here's the problem conservatives have. The biggest policy that's destroyed these communities is the war on drugs, and that's a policy that is not a left-wing policy.
And that's a policy he needs to make her own, though.
And people don't know this, we had the highest murder rate in American history under Prohibition, and when we got rid of Prohibition, it went down drastically. We have a huge gang problem and a huge violence problem in Chicago, in a lot of these different areas. We can get rid of it. All we have to do is repeal the war on drugs, and that's not a left-wing policy. You know what,
no, it's not. People talk about Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan as being the drug warriors. So was Bill Clinton.
Yes.
And, you know, the crime bill was rooted in fighting the war on drugs.
It was Hillary Clinton who told blacks, within that context of war on drugs, blacks need to come to heel. Yeah, I can roll the video if you'd like. It really exists. So yeah, she's got some cleaning up to do. So how does she do that?
She's also got some problems with her past comments, like calling young black men super predators, and saying she's got hot sauce in her bag isn't quite enough.
Yeah, so I never really got the racial implications of that. Like somebody had to explain that to me.
Yeah, I'm white. I like hot sauce.
Yeah, like, okay, but it was kind of like her Pokemon Go thing too.
All right, so Republicans seem like they have an opportunity here, but they always blow it on race.
They always blow it because they're afraid to ask. The thing about this Trump speech, at least you have to ask. You have to go to the black community and say, what have they done for you lately? I mean, if they would just repeat that, I don't even need to get into policy details. What have the Democrats done for you lately? Repeat that over and over. And then you think, it's like, yeah, not much.
Yeah, has your life improved over the last 8 years? Well, the question, has it? I mean, are schools better? Is your community stronger? You know, look what happened in Milwaukee. Look what's happening all over the country with law enforcement alone. Look at that inflection point.
Well, and when you look at Louisiana, again, Senator Gilroy at the time, Albert Lee Gilroy, nice southern gentleman down there, cut these political ads a couple of political seasons ago, and he said, we're still as poor as we have ever been, and it's been predominantly Democratic leadership. I'm switching to the GOP. Now, that was one lawmaker, but you saw some commonalities in the speech from Donald Trump, some themes there that if he runs with that, you would be surprised how he can scoop people up.